Hello again, viewers. Jake here with the seasonal rundown of new animes coming out next season. This time we're looking at spring 2018, and oh boy, I hope you weren't a fan of a lot of things, because you're going to be busy. Let's roll. We got a lot of things to look at. First up, we have Boku no Hero Academia Season 3, third season of Hero Academia. I'm kind of surprised that it's coming out this quickly, but still, I'm happy. Third season of Hero Academia from Bone Studios. Listing says it's going to be 25 episodes again, so... Next up, from White Fox Studios, we have Steins Gate Zero. I would read the synopsis here. It's a weird sort of prequel in the future, but to go into it would kind of spoil Steins Gate, which I still haven't seen. That's on me. But yeah, Steins Gate Zero. Pretty sure that's a prequel set in the future before the time travel happens, which causes Steins Gate 1 to happen. Let's move on. Studio Pietro, we have Tokyo Ghoul Re, pretty sure a sequel to Tokyo Ghoul. 2 years have passed since the CCG's raid on Anteku? Is that how you pronounce it? Anteku? Although the atmosphere in Tokyo has changed drastically due to the increased influence of CCG, ghouls continue to pose a problem, as they have begun taking caution, especially the terrorist organization Algiri Tree, who acknowledge the CCG's growing threat to their existence. The creation of a special team known as the Quinix Squad may provide the CCG with the push they need to exterminate Tokyo's unwanted residents. As humans who have undergone surgery in order to make use of the special abilities of ghouls, they participate in operations to eradicate the dangerous creatures. The leader of this group, Hasei Sasaki, is a half-ghoul, half-human who has been trained by famed special class investigator Kisho Arima. However, there's more to this young man than meets the eye. Oh, what a shocker there. As unknown memories claw at his mind, slowly reminding him of the person he used to be. Next up, from JC Staff, we have the second half of the third season of Shokugeki no Soma. That's the Iron Chef anime. Don't know why they took last season off. That is a bit weird, but unimportant. It's coming back. Let's roll right on. Studio 3 Hertz, we have Please Keep in Your Lunch, Sword Art Online Alternative, Gun Gale Online. Seems to be a spin-off set in the same universe in the Gun Gale game, but not starring any of the people you loathe or love. There's plenty of people who like this, and I'm not going to berate them solely on liking it, just on why they do. Karen Kohirumaki, maybe? Always felt out of place in the real world due to her extreme height. She found it hard to make friends with other girls her age. Everything changed when she's introduced to VR and Gun Gale Online. In GGO, Karen is free to play the cute chibi avatar of her dreams. Can Karen find friendship in this bullet-ridden MMO? So, I have a bit of a question, because I watch enough analysis videos about this to see this problem. Did she choose a small, chibi avatar? Because you can't in GGO. That was a whole thing. It's unimportant. Whatever. Next up, I'm kind of happy about this. We have High School DxD Hero, the fourth season of High School DxD. Glad to see this coming back. Will be interesting to see if it's a anime original offshoot or if it tries to kind of retcon what happened at the end of the 3rd season so that I continue on with the light novel. That's from Pasillon Studios. Sorry. Following that, we have a couple of A1 pictures. First up, we have Persona 5 the animation. If you don't know the synopsis, don't play the video game because, well, it's an adaptation of the video game. That's what I've been forgetting to bring up, the little side things. Manga, fiction novel, manga, light novel, video game. Yeah, I haven't missed much. The next A1 Pictures show we have on the list, Wotaku ni koi wa muzukashi. After discovering that they work at the same company, a gaming-crazed otaku and Fujoshi reunite for the first time since middle school. After some post-work drinking sessions, they began dating, but will it be a perfect relationship for the two? I'm hoping that this is a continuation of the trend from MMO Junkie and I guess from that one anime a few whiles ago that turned into a crappy harem, no girls play MMO or something like that. And that there's going to be a trend of people having met in MMOs, formed friendships with MMOs, and move to make their friendship in person. I would like to see more of that. There's nothing wrong with that. That setup just comes down to how much you do or don't like the characters, even if you're not a fan of the MMO they're parodying. Still, it's A1 Pictures, which means there's gonna be some laziness involved. I can feel it. Following that, we have a new season from Zetbeck Studios, Full Metal Panic, Invisible Victory. There's no synopsis yet here on my anime list. Wotaku is based on a web manga, which I'm not surprised because that seems like the perfect place for these kind of stories to come from. Next up, from Production IG, Ginga Iu Densetsu Dai Neo Theres Kaiko, or Legend of the Galactic Heroes, from the same novelist that gave us Heroic Legend of Arslan. Still, weird that this many years down the line, Galactic Heroes getting another series after having like a 150 episode TV series before. Synopsis, right. In humanity's distant future, two interstellar states, the Monarchic Galactic Empire and the Democratic Free Planet Alliance, are embroiled in a never-ending war. The story focuses on the exploits of rivals Reinhard von Mussel and Yang Wen Li as they rise to power and fame in the Galactic Empire and the Free Planets Alliance. I still need to watch the old one. I have a friend who's on my back about that forever. I don't blame him. Next up, from Platinum Vision, based on the manga, Devil's Line. And despite being called Devil's Line, it's about vampires. Anzai, half vampire, and Tsukasa, a normal schoolgirl. It doesn't say high school girl. My brain put in high. Vampires seem to be living among humans. Of course, the government does not know of their existence because their appearance does not differ from humans. They also do not need to drink blood, but when they get a craving or get angry, they become uncontrollable monsters. Ain't that a detailed description? We have next up another new season from 7 Arcs Pictures based on the light novel. The next season of Saredo Sumibito wa Ryu to Doru. Odoru, Odoru. I remember this from a few seasons ago. I don't remember being all that interested. And I don't think the synopsis is all that different. Next up, a rather big one that my manga friends have been hyping this up for a while. Golden Kamui from Studio Geno Studio, based on the manga. In Hokkaido, the far northern lands of Japan, Sugimoto survived the Russo-Japanese War of the Meiji era. Nicknamed Sugimoto the Immortal during the war, he now seeks the riches promised by the gold rush in hopes of saving the widowed wife of his now deceased comrade from war. During his hunt for gold, he finds hints of a hidden stash of gold by corrupt criminals, partnering with an Ainu girl that saves his life from harsh climates of the north. They venture into a survival adventure to race against the criminals that seek the hidden stash. I'm looking forward to this. Then again, I'm looking forward to a lot of things this season. Next up, we have from Dogokobo, an original anime, Tadakun wa koi wo shinai. In the story, Mitsuyoshi Tada, a boy who has never known love, is taking pictures of the cherry blossoms in full bloom when he meets Teresa Wagner, a transfer student from Luxembourg. That's why I'm assuming it's Wagner, as opposed to Wagner. I'm probably wrong. Upon arriving in Japan, she got lost, separated from her traveling companion. Mitsuyoshi helps her and brings her to her grandfather's coffee shop. I'm assuming hilarity ensues. Next up, based on the manga from Fukushima Gainax, we have Piano no Mori TV. A tranquil tale about two boys from very different upbringings. On one hand, you have Kai, born as the son of a prostitute, who's been playing the abandoned piano in the forest near his home ever since he was young. And on the other, you have Shuhei, practically breastfed by the piano as the son of a famous, prestigious pianist. Yet it is their common bond with the piano that eventually intertwines their paths in life. I feel like I should know what makes Fukushima Gainax different from normal Gainax, but I got nothing. Next up, from Feel Studio, based on the manga, Hina Matsui. One night, a strange object falls on the head of Nita, a member of the Yakuza. Inside the box is a strange young girl named Hina. She has tremendous supernatural powers, and Nita finds himself reluctantly taking her in. Her powers can come in handy for his Yakuza business, but he also runs the risk of her using them on him. Not to mention, if she doesn't use her powers, she will eventually go berserk and destroy everything around her. Nita and Hina's strange life together has just begun. Next we have, from production DOA, based on the manga, Mahou Shoujo Site. Hey, remember that Magical Girls show about a smartphone game where if you reach a certain rank you became a magical girl, but then too many people became magical girls, so the mascot said, hey, could you kill each other? Asagiri Aya is a young girl who has fallen victim to bullies at her school. Looking for a way to escape her troubles, she looks to the internet for distractions, when a mysterious website called Magical Girls Site appears. Simply viewing the page is all it takes to hurtle Aya headlong into the deadly world of the magical girl apocalypse. There, it's fight or die against a seemingly endless array of savagely adorable, frilly-skirted killing machines, each armed with magical powers and an unquenchable thirst for blood and chaos. The tags for this are drama, horror, psychological, and supernatural. So no, despite the hamming it up at the end there on the synopsis, this is not a parody, this is not a spoof, this is another, oh, what interested people was that magical girls killed each other attempt to recapture Madoka. Forgetting that what made Madoka good was the writing of Gen Urobuchi teaming up with the bizarre visuals of Studio Shaft. Next up, from Hood's Entertainment, based on the manga Three Kanojo Little Girl. Tsutsui Hikari is an otaku, and he mostly avoids social life. Hikari has only one friend at school who is also a social misfit. And he is mocked brutally by most of his classmates for being creepy and weird. One day he ends up having to clean the school pool with Igarashi Ioha, who appears to be pretty much everything he hates in real-life girls. She skips school, has a blunt manner, doesn't have many female friends, and seems the sort to be promiscuous. Dude, don't just assume shit like that. However, she is friendly to Hikari and even stands up to the people who make fun of him. Hikari's bitterness and trust issues leads him to say pretty harsh things to Ioha, but she never dismisses him as creepy. After a while, it starts to look like Ioha may become his first real-life 3D girlfriend. Will he be able to handle it? You know, if this turns out to be cute, I'll probably end up watching it. Next from David Productions, because they're not making JoJo right now. Based on the manga, we have Captain Tsubasa 2018. Captain Tsubasa is the passionate story of an elementary school student whose thoughts and dreams revolve almost entirely around the love of soccer. You know, what the rest of the world calls football. 11 years old, Tsubasa Ozora started playing football at a very young age. See, it says football like three words later. At a very young age, and while it was mostly just a recreation sport for his friends, for him, it developed into something of an obsession. In order to pursue his dream to the best of his elementary school abilities, Tsubasa moves with his mother to Nankatsu City, which is well known for its excellent elementary school soccer teams. But although he was easily the best in his own town, Nankatsu has a lot more competition, and he needs all his skills and talents in order to stand out from the new crowd. He encounters not only rivals, but also new friends like the pretty girl Saine Nakazawa and the talented goalkeeper Genzo Wakabayashi, who shares the same passion as Tsubasa and will prove to be treasured friends in helping him push towards the dream representing Japan in the FIFA World Cup. In Tsubasa's ultimate dream, but it will take a lot more than talent to reach it. Yeah, like sponsoring deals, good agent, maybe a coach or two. Still, it is interesting that David Productions is going to another older manga series and adapting it. I remember Captain Tsubasa existing for like ages. Don't know if it's as old as JoJo though. Next up, from Satellite, is that how it's pronounced there? Satelight, there we go. Based on the video game Caligula. Mobius is the perfect digital world for the imagined benefit of humanity by a virtual idol program that attains sentience and self-awareness. Only humans who are suffering in the real world and strongly relate to songs are lured into Mobius. Once they enter, people often forget that the real world exists. Regardless of age or gender, they are turned into students and forced to experience school life over and over, which considers the most radiant time in a person's life. This is, if I'm not mistaken, the first major video game by the original creator of Persona, not Persona 3, 4, and 5, but the first... They work on both Persona 2s? Anyway. I haven't played the video game. I've been meaning to. It looked really interesting. It will be odd seeing how they adapt a video game I haven't played yet. And for me to stop and go, oh, I see, they had to... that was clearly supposed to be a block. Moving right along. From JC Staff Manga Adaptation, we have second season Manchu. That was terribly done. But yeah, we have the second season of Manchu. More laid-back cuteness. Yeah! Next up from Gonzo Studio, based on the novel, we have Kakuyo no Yadomeshi. Female college student Aoi inherits her deceased grandfather's ability to see Ayakashi. One day, while Aoi is feeding some Ayakashi, a demon appears. He declares that Aoi's grandfather owed a great debt, and as compensation, Aoi must marry the demon. Aoi refuses and decides to pay off the debt by working. So... This kind of Beauty and the Beast kind of thing, only instead of being locked away, she scrubs the floors and does house chores. Is the demon going to try and hook up with his new maid because she refuses to be his wife? Oh boy. It's not even a tag on whether this is a romance or a comedy, it's just demons and supernatural. Bum. Next, again from Satellite, an original idea. Well, probably not an original idea, but original property as opposed to an adaptation. Jushinki Pandora. There we go. The new series is set in a near-future world where the boundary between human beings and AI is vague. A rapid biological evolution similar to Cambrian explosion is caused by one incident. The incident turns into the genesis of a new jostle for supremacy, and the influence of the evolution goes beyond biological framework and spreads to various kinds of material and technologies. So wait, like, a rock evolved? Did it evolve into a bigger rock? The era of massive evolution involves diverse extensions such as humans, machines, and biotechnology is coming. Characters fight in an existential war in such a world. No studio listed for the next one, based on the manga though. Shinya Pin Jieting? You can hear my brain starting to go. Bubble. The series centers on a family where both parents are mad scientists and where both brother and sister are modded humans called creatures. Yeah, that sounds nice. The family members aim to become a normal family. Next up we have from TNK and Zero G Studios, based on the manga, Yoreku the Animation. What if you could enslave anyone you ever wanted? Well, this comes close. The SCM lets you enslave anyone who's also wearing an SCM at a price. One must win over the others at the cost of anything in order for the other to become their slave. Wow, am I uninterested by that. Next up, from TMS Entertainment, Megalobox, part of the Ashita no Joe 50th Anniversary Project. JD, known as Junk Dog, participates in fixed boxing matches in an underground ring in order to live. Today, he enters the ring again, but he encounters a certain person. JD wants to take on a challenge that risks everything. Which oddly reminds me, I need to get back into Tiger Mask at some point. Next, based on the card game, no listed studio, Lostola Conflated Windcross, new season of Windcross. I don't think I was ever really into that. Oh well. Moving on down the list from OLM Studios, based on the game, Inazuma 11 Aries no Tenben. Izuna 11 Aries will be set in a parallel world taking place after the events of the first game and develop the story from the perspective of three protagonists: Ryohei Haizaki, Atsuto Inamori, and Yuma Nosaka. The story revolves around a group of boys living on an island who love to play soccer. The soccer club is suddenly abolished, and the only way they can regain it is to win the football frontier. The protagonist, Atsuto Inamori and company, leave the island for Tokyo to attend Raimon Junior High School and take on the football frontier. But their first match is against the number 1 ranked Seiho and Gakuen. I'm sure that made a lot more sense to other people. Next, from Pietro Plus, based on the web manga, Maho Shoujo Ore! This story is about a 15-year-old girl who is a newbie idol in love with her best friend's brother, who is also a popular idol. But she runs into a scary Yakuza guy and finds out that her mother was an ex-magical girl, and the Yakuza guy was her mascot. Her love interest gets kidnapped by demons that look like burly men with cute squirrel heads. So she contracts the Yakuza to become a magical girl, which in this story means she turns into a handsome guy in a magical girl outfit. On top of that, her love interest shows an attraction towards her magical guy form. Oh dear. Her best friend turns out to be in love with her and also becomes a magical cross-dressing guy to save her life. Thus, their manager, who is a magical girl geek, then decides to turn them into an idol unit. I'm sorry, how can I not be excited for that just from the synopsis? That is gloriously insane. Next up, from Silverlink Studio, original property, Butlers, Chitose Monotose Monogatari. The anime centers on two protagonists. Koma Jinguji, known as Jay, is the smart and handsome student council president. His elegant smile captures the hearts of women. Tsubasa Hayakawa is a multi-talented and gentle shop assistant at a cafe. His cafe latte with al latte art is very popular with the female customers. The two men travel through time to fight their arch-enemy, the charming butlers as they are called, fight supernatural battles, and also experience a slapstick comedic life at the Air Academy. And I ask you, is this the art of a comedy? That feels so weird! Like, yeah, don't judge a book by its cover, whatever. When you read comedy, this is not the art style you think of. I'm so angry, I could just burp, which I already did. Following that up from Zero G Studios, based on the visual novel, Nil Admirari no Tenbin Teito Genwaku Kitan. The Taisho era didn't end in 15 years. Taisho era, maybe it was 1911. Point is, it was at the start of the 1900s and it didn't last long. But went on for another 25. In order to protect her waning family, a girl resolved to marry a man she doesn't even know the name of. However, just before the marriage was to take place, the girl's younger brother mysteriously committed suicide by self-immolation and was found holding an old book in his hands. Appearing before the bewildered young girl was the Imperial Library Intelligence Assessed Management Bureau, more commonly referred to as Fukuro. According to these men, there exist maremono, which are books that greatly affect their readers. On top of that, ever since the incident involving the girl's younger brother, she unwittingly gained the ability to see auras, the sentiments of the maremono, which manifest as bright lights and are usually invisible to humans. It was as though fate were trying to drag the young girl into its flames. And then, even though apprehensive, the girl chose to venture outside her birdcage. Jealousy, hatred, scorn, compassion, and love. What awaits the girl was the darkness of betrayal that had already begun to bewitchingly inlay the imperial capital. Toyed by and swayed within that darkness, will the young girl finally reach the truth after her struggle, or? ... question mark. So my guess is this is a Otomi game. Judging from that melodramatic of a plot synopsis and pretty boys. Not to make assumptions, but that seems to happen a lot with Otomi games. There seems to be a lot more melodrama on that end. This is not a critique of them, I'm just noticing this case, much like more often than not, being an ostracized youth, but having powers that puts you as way more important than others, but you're still a good guy because you're an ostracized youth, happens a whole hell of a lot in boy-centric stories. Just throwing that out there. Next up, from Nexus Studio, based on the 4-comic manga, Comic Girls, the daily life of up-and-coming female mangaka living together in a dormitory. And I'm sorry, unless one of these characters is based on the mangaka of Full Metal Alchemist, it's not going to be as engaging as the little liner pages at the end of mangas that are actually drawn by mangakas. Because these look like every damn cute girl doing cute thing cast. Mangakas, male or female, tend to be weird, and their stories are fun enough for them to be in the liner pages of their mangas. Just go base it off of that. Off the Full Metal Alchemist mangaka, off the Gangsta mangaka, off the Kerin/Chibi Vampire mangaka. Stuff like that. Next up from Studio Dean, based on the manga, we have the second half of the second season for Hozuki no Reitetsu. Another anime I need to get to. Another anime that had a season like 2 seasons ago, but then cut off halfway through. Huh. Next up, I'm terrified that I'm interested at all in this. From PA Works, based on the mobile game Uma Musume Pretty Derby. It's a semi-idle game, but with horse girls. Again, it terrifies me that I am interested to see what they do with this. Next up, from Studios Creators in Park and Studio Lings, there we go, we have Tachibana-kan Triangle, or Love to Lie Angle. Okay. When Natsuno Hanabi went back to her hometown to study in high school, she thought she will have a new wonderful life, but Tachibana-kan, the dormitory she is going to live in, was not what she expected. And judging from the picture, I can assume what she didn't expect was lesbians? Next up, from NHK Enterprises, based on the manga, we have Major Second TV. Daigo is born as the son of Goro, a father who is too great. What path will Daigo, who is burdened with great expectations, take in baseball? I'm guessing this is a sequel series to a series I haven't seen, because that sounds like a sequel series. Like, no other way to read that. Next up, Alice or Alice. Siskon ni-san to Futako no Imoto, from EM to Square Studios, based on the 4-comic manga. The story gives a look at the daily life of a pair of Alice twins and their older brother who has a sister complex. Them eating meals, getting into fights, playing with friends. Would you like a peek at the heart-filled daily life of the cute Alices? The answer, my friends, is no. Next up, from Telecom Animation Film Studios, we have Lupin the Third, Part 5. In the new series, Lupin the Third will travel to France, the home of his grandfather and namesake, Marcel Leblanc's master thief character Arsène Lupin. After that, we have, from Production Breed Studio, based on the manga, Cutie Honey Universe. There's no synopsis yet, but I am still going to care because it's Cutie Honey. You know, the other thing made by the creator of Devilman. Not to be confused with Mazinger Z, the other thing made by the creator of Devilman that people actually care about. I care a lot about Cutie Honey, okay? It's fun, it's cute, it's sexy, it's probably the basis of a lot of magical girl shows. Next up, from Polygon Pictures, oh, you can tell from that cover, can't you, that it's polygons. Based on the manga, Soten no Ken Regenesis, which I believe is Hokuto no Ken related. There's no synopsis on the page. Following that, from Studio Bones, original IP, Hisone to Masotan. Straightforward and innocent Hisano Amakasu is a self-defense force rookie stationed at the Air Self-Defense Force's Gifu base. She was struggling with the fact that she sometimes hurts people unintentionally by her innocent words and decided to join the Air Self-Defense Force, hoping to maintain a certain distance from people. And this decision led her to a fateful encounter which profoundly changed her life. It was the OFT dragon hidden in the base, and it chose Hisone as his pilot. When it soared into the sky with Hisone, her fate as a dragon pilot was decided. It is said that dragons have a key to the future of the world. Next up, we have, from Zexus Studio, based on the manga, Ryoku Hodo Yotsuyo Biori. 4 men, Gure Tokitaka, and Tsubaki each help run a Japanese tea shop together called Rokuhodo. When one visits the shop, they are greeted warmly, is served with tea, and are often helped with any problems they may have. Cute boys helping out people with their lives. Next up, I would doubt that this was being handled by anyone but Sunrise Studio, but we will see. Gundam builds Divers. It's a new Gundam build series, and it seems to be like VR linking into them. I'm unsure, I still haven't seen the prologue, which I guess I should. Next up, from Toei Animation, based on the manga, and taking over the slot for Dragon Ball Super while it's on a we don't know how long hiatus, Gegege no Kitaro 2018. No synopsis. Following that, from Studio Comic, we have the next season of the Magical Boy series, Binan Koko Chikyu Boebu Happy Kisu. Next, from Gonzo Studio, based on the web manga, Uchu Senkan Tiramisu. The human race extended its life field and greed to the vast reaches of space. In Space Era 0156, a war breaks out amidst all the colonies in space. Earth begins to construct a new space battleship called Tiramisu in secret. Just as the war begins, one genius pilot steers Tiramisu as a beacon of hope for humanity. Now this is the kind of cover and art style you expect for a comedy. Not Butlers. Next we have from Ekachi Epilak Studios, based on the manga, no synopsis given though. Fumikiri Jikan. I could look at the manga equivalent page for a synopsis, but I'm lazy. Following that, from TMS Entertainment, based on the forthcoming manga, we have the fourth season of, I think it's the fourth season, Nobunaga no Shinobi, Anegawa Hishiyama Hen. Things are about to get dark. Oh, hey, looky, I think we found the hentai for the season. From Magic Bus Studios, based on the web manga, Amae Chopatsu, Watashi wa Kanshu Senyo Pet. The story is set in a prison in the near future. It revolves around Hina Saotome, imprisoned despite her innocence, and the elegant yet sadistic guard Aki Myojin. Hina's heart and body are at the mercy of Myojin's heartless yet sweet domination, from physical examinations to lovers' prison visits. Sure. I mean, if I'm watching trash like Killing Bites, I'm sure someone enjoys this trash too. God, I love how trash Killing Bites is. Follow that up with, from Studio Dean, based on the manga, De la Zeni, which seems to be another baseball anime. This is the story of Natsunosuke Honda, a pro baseball player, a relief pitcher who has been playing pro in a team called Spiders for 8 years. The team operates as a highly stratified society where the player's performances determine his annual salary. Natsunosuke is one of the highest paid players in the game. He measures how good players are by how much money they make, and he intends to be at the top and stay there. And as such is always looking for players to challenge and does everything to ensure that he is better than they are. Sounds like an asshole. we're not supposed to be rooting for him to, like, I point out that everyone else sucks. Next up, we have from JC Staff, based on the game that I've never heard of, Last Period. Owari Naki Rasen no Monogatari. Period is how magic users call Beat Spiral, monsters that were summoned from isolation. Due to the rise of these beings, 14-year-old apprentice Period Haru, who is part of the 8th Arc End Division, is called to break the cycle and cast himself into the endless battle. However, a mysterious thievery occurs and sank the division into bankruptcy, forcing Haru and his other comrades have to leave their headquarters. To rebuild a branch, they have to overcome quest after quest. So, instead of going into constant conflict, they have to go into constant conflict. Bandai Namco Pictures, based on the game. Aikatsu Fens, no synopsis listed. Next, from Asahi Productions, based on the web manga. Omae wa mada guma wo shinanai. Nori Kamitsuki moved from Chiba to Ganma Prefecture as he begins to attend high school. There, he has received a warning from his classmates that no one comes back alive from Ganma, and found more negative information as he looked it up on the net. In the midst of confusion and extreme culture shock, he has gotten himself involved in with Ganma's rival, Tochigi and Ibaraki Prefecture. Looking at the picture, it looks like he'll be involved with a bunch of... I don't know, it looks like those Hanafuku carts? You know, koi koi. Koi koi. Next, we have the second season of the CG version for Chi's Home, Koneko no Chi Panpanra Daiboken 2. Second season of Koneko no Chi Panpan Daiboken is an original story written by mangaka with travel as theme. That's nice. That's cute. Following that up, we have a new Beyblade series, Beyblade Burst Chozetsu. Next up, we have DLE and Madhouse, based on the novel Wakoi Kami wa Shoga Kusei. 12-year-old Oriko Seki, who lost her parents in a car accident, ended up living in her grandmother's onsen ryokan Haru no Ya, with the ghost Yuribo cohabiting with her and the other odds. She ended up traveling to be a young female innkeeper. At first, she didn't like the training, but gradually felt her admiration for her title and began to train seriously. Thus, the growth of the young warrior Oriko begins. Am I supposed to know who that is? Next up, from studios Tatsunoko Production and Dongwo A&E, based on the game Kerato Pri-chan. First year middle school girl Mirai Momoyama and Emo Moegi are two aspiring idols who decide to use the Pri-chan system, a system used by famous people and companies to broadcast content. Like many girls starting their own channel and uploading content, the pair decide to become their own producers, starting their own channel in an attempt to become Pri-chan idols. Okay, last three. We can get through this. Especially this one because there's no studio to the original idea, there's no synopsis. Lady Spo. Ladyspo. No idea. Next, no studio listed based on the manga. Usagi no Matthew. The story centers on Matthew, a daydreaming worrywart of a rabbit. Matthew also has two friends. Keron, a pessimistic frog who is fond of good luck charms, and Ham, a hamster of few words and who moves through life at his own pace. The story follows the three animals' everyday lives within a mysterious forest. And from Production IG, original series, Kekeroke. The anime follows the frogs Kekero and Kei, who try to find their 998 other siblings. Whew. That's all the TV things. Let's see what else we got here. Got the aggressive Retsuko ONA coming out. I think that's a Netflix. Yep. There it is. Netflix. April 20th. More Retsuko. Always fun. I think there's some important movies I want to point out though. Yeah, there. May 5th. The final Digimon Tri movie. Boku no Mirai. The next Ganubuchi written Godzilla movie, also from Polygon Pictures. Godzilla, Kessen Kido Zosho Ko Aku Toshi, and from Kamikaze Doga, Batman Ninja. Because I am a dork. And that's generally the things to look out for in this coming spring season. Thank you for listening, and as always, stay safe.